So, good afternoon. Welcome to the Spartans Boxing Show. This is Lakey. I'm joined, as always, by my trusty co-host, the Ian Wright lookalike, Mr. Arv Me Too. Hello, Arv. Are you all right, mate?
How are you, Lakey? You're right. I'm good, thanks.
I'm good. I'm good. And it's an absolute pleasure and a real honour for us to be joined today by Mr. Paul Mann, who is the head trainer at BCB Black Country Boxing. Hello, Paul. Welcome to the show, and thank you very much for coming on.
No, thank you for having me on, and the pleasure's all mine. And as always, old friend.
Fantastic, Paul.
God
You
bless
know,
you
a
all.
man I haven't seen for years. But
I know.
Paul, I love you, my friend.
I
Top
love
man.
you.
You guys are from the same neck of the woods, aren't you? Same part of the world.
Yeah, near enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it not?
You might need a translator.
I was going to say I'm going to put subtitles on the video for those. We did that with a interview. What was that when we did Octavia Moran, wasn't it? We interviewed Octavia Moran from Mexico.
Oh yeah.
He's the guy that refereed the Tyson.
Tyson.
Yes.
But him and his colleague Guan said to us after, you might want to put some subtitles on. So, but it was good. It was a good interview. But we did actually put subtitles on, but in South American, so it was a bit different. But thank you for coming along. Thank you for joining us. I mean, we were talking off air. Well, you and I have had a good catch up off air there about you guys go back a long way. You've got a lot of history.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which is always wonderful, and Arv's a bit of a character. Everybody, I'm surprised. I'll be amazed the day we meet someone Arv that actually doesn't know you in boxing. That's going to be a real shock because everybody. But which is that in itself is a compliment. But what we thought would be nice, Paul, is to catch up with you about what's been going on at BCB. We know about the recent successes of some of your fighters, such as Lennox Clark, who's the new British champion. So we thought it'd be nice to catch up with you, get your thoughts about what's been going on in the world of boxing, how the COVID's affected it, as it has everybody, and what you've got planned for the future. So, I mean, my first question is a very, very simple question, as I always like to start them off all very easy. Is how did you find boxing? How did you get into the boxing world?
I was brought up into it really. My dad was he was a bit of a hard man, and it was in the football and that. But I was always brought up around boxing because we was in the era of Sugar Ray Leonard and Hagler, and obviously Ali had finished. I was born in '76, so we was brought up around boxing, and as you know, in them days, there was only 3 channels, and then the 4th one coming, Channel 4. So it was all boxing all our life, and where I was from Wolverhampton. So obviously we had Tony Wilson, who's light heavy, British champion, and everything was going around there. But my background, I started off in martial arts, and at the age of 7, I was competing and everything in that, and then I went into kickboxing and then boxing later. And I didn't have a long boxing career or anything that's to look at as a resume to say, wow, he done loads in boxing, and that was due to certain things. But I've always been training, always been exercising, always been competing. I've done the martial arts, the judo, the boxing, 14 boxing, just amateur and stuff like. But my main thing is where everything really started to come about was as Arv was fighting, because he was on the Pat Cowdell shows. And I was with Nobby Nobbs, and he fought one of my very close friends, Steve Saville, in a close 8-rounder, 8-2s in Stoke. And I remember being there, and he said in a boxing interview, because he was in the Contender, Steve, I don't know if you remember the prize fighter, Steve Saville was in there. They done an interview with him in the Boxing News, and they said, name your hardest opponent, and he did mention you then, Arv. He said, Arv Mitchell was my hardest opponent. Well, I remember that, and obviously I knew Arv anyway, and Arv's just a great guy. So,
thank you.
And then where he all started, I bought Steve because Pat was getting a bit fed up with the pro scene, because it is, financially, it's just tough. I mean, you need a lot of money to start off with, because you lose so much. It's just so tough. And then I was blessed with that. I knew Errol, and I knew one of the ones who was trainers and everything. And then I took Steve to Errol's, and we had Dean Harrison there, and a few others that were already there from Wolverhampton, and Russell Collier. I told him to go there, and we started. And I was 30 at the time, and when I took him down, Errol says, look, rather than doing this amateur stuff and everything that you're doing and trying to get in boxing, he goes, don't, because I was thinking about turning pro. And Errol says, look, because I was doing okay business-wise as well. He says, look, I think he can be a great trainer.
Mm.
And thank God I was blessed that someone like Errol Johnson, he had 43 national champions alone. And then when I come along, he won the British. And then since then, we've won like 7 British titles, I think, in the gym. And we won the European and we won, and the list goes on and on. I mean, like Midlands, I think we won about 50, I think. Like,
Wow.
just like, we just never stopped. Like, so I was just blessed that out of all the fighters that he had, the thousands of fighters. And he told me, he asked me to be one of the trainers. And then from there, I didn't look back. And really, the business is suffering and that as well, because my life, I live, breathe, and every day is just boxing for me. I just love training people, just exercise. So from there, we just flourished, and that's where it all started.
You know what, Paul? That's absolutely fantastic. What I wanted to ask you, Delroy Spencer, was he your fighter? Because that's the first time I met you many years ago when I was fighting myself. I met you, and you had him. That's when I met him first.
Yeah. Delroy was on our books as well. Like, and like I came into the time when Ricky Hatton was fighting Mayweather again, training up for that. So we went to Vegas as well, and we took Martin Geffen and Dean Harrison, and I was blessed to be there as well. Like, which was
fighters, both of them, very good fighters.
But then I started getting. I was blessed in the sense. I mean, people might think of this but I learned right from the bottom of the trade. So I started with taking all the journeymen, which was an absolute blessing. Taking the likes of Peter Buckley, Carl Taylor, Anthony Hanna, Tony Randall. Hastings, which you know more, because we're all boxing the same time as you. It was all together.
All from the Nobby gym.
They all came to Nobby, finished in 2007. So I was blessed, and I was the one that was taking them up and down the country. So on my anniversaries, birthdays, everything. So we was just going, and if you remember, we was doing all the shows in Scotland. And as I was doing all the shows in Scotland, and you remember they used to do the Burns night and everything, and they used to do the Monday night. So I'll be going at least once a month, because Errol started doing all the matchmaking for up Scotland as well. Like, so what I started doing was I started taking them on a Monday, come back on a Tuesday, go again on the Friday, go again on the Saturday. So we was always at Bethnal Green. It used to be Friday fight night, didn't it? So it used to be like always Friday night. Me and so because Darryl was fighting so regularly. I remember like doing his 100th fight and he's carrying on. Was always there when he leads. And I'm going to win. So when you have your 100th fight and we got to win, like I never forget it. Like, and I was really blessed, like, and that. Yeah. And I just taking them up and down the country all the time, like, and just having an absolutely blessed in like the experience I had. So like, like now you get people who are trained and they have like they go in the corner and they've got to have a cut man. They have their spit bucket man. They have their cut man, and we was just all in one. Like I remember taking guys. I remember taking Julia Winter in Germany, like for a world title, and I had no spit bucket man on. I was doing the whole lot. And like,
wow,
your experience just goes. So I cut from that. And if you remember Carl used to cut before he went in the ring. He used to
Carl Taylor. My word, yeah. Always.
So like for cuts and that, I just got experience in that. And for me, it's not it wasn't even an issue. Like you know how it used to be in the day. We never had this like cut man.
No.
So and so trying
to for yourself.
Everything. You just done everything. And being on road, on the road and always traveling, we just picked it up that way, don't we? And we just and we just learned from there, don't we?
I mean, you had some. I mean, you and Errol had some cracking fighters. People like the likes of Young Motley as well. What a fighter he was! Weren't he a fighter?
And, Rob Norton won the British with us as well.
Rob Norton, who lives just up the road from me.
Geffin. Yeah. And then obviously we had that spell with we had all Mark Lloyd and all them as well who went and fought.
I remember Mark Lloyd from Telford.
Yeah. From Telford. Well, Telford Slammers from Telford is Kieran Gray, like it. Yeah. Kieran Gray's one of the fighters that we've got that actually watch me fight as well. I took when I won, like, and he was we just absolutely blessed to have all these fighters. I mean, the characters that we had was phenomenal, like, proper good fighters, like all the time, and just brilliant. And now, as you know, with the roller coasters, we're going into really good times now. with all our.
There seems to be a real abundance of talent up you boys' way. You know, I mean, in the West Mids, you know, in the Black. I mean, there just seems to be at the moment. It seems to be a real hotbed for boxing. Why do you think that might be?
Well, I'll tell you what it is, Trevor, and that's all down. Thank God, like obviously we've been working non-stop and Errol had his pro license in 1999.
I remember.
So we got that. He got his pro license, started doing the fighters because his last fight was against Rob McCracken in the amateurs. And like then Errol, like, you know, obviously done all the amateurs, everything done with the amateurs. Then he had enough of that. Started the pros in 1999 and was working very closely with Dave Bradley. And
that's right.
From there, we probably had Jimmy Gold and everyone as well who signed up with him first. So he started working from there, and it's been a long journey. And Arv knows if you're always on the there's an A side and a B side, and if you're on the B side, you don't always get the decisions. You have the crowd which influence referees, judges. I'm not saying they influence, but sometimes it's very difficult, especially when you get like Bethnal Green, which Arv knows.
It seems to help now, Paul, doesn't it? When it seems to be on their side, doesn't it?
Yeah. When you're on their side, and then you're just thinking, hang on, I've got to knock these kids out. And what's helped us in a big way, as bad as it's been, and I feel sorry for anyone that's lost their life or any loved ones or any problem with this COVID. It's been a blessing to us because now suddenly we're headlining shows. And we're winning. We're showing them what we can do. They're not influenced by there's not crowds there. So the A side's there. They're coming in there and they're proper 50-50 fights. And the big promoters in Frank Warren, BT, in Eddie Hearn in Matchroom, and with MTK Global as well, they have to put these 50-50 fights on because otherwise people are sitting at home doing nothing, so they're watching these fights. So we was blessed in that sense. So we're taking fights on now with the likes of Liam Davis, who won the English. Like you see there, they had to put him in that 50-50 fight. Other than that, we'd have to personally, we put on about 30 to 35 shows on a year, lucky ourselves. And that financially absolutely drains us anyway, but we have to build our kids' careers up. It's because we love it. We don't do it for the money, but we try and make it work the best we possibly can. And
do you have any girls on as well? Do you train
we got Rachel Ball.
Yeah, we just Rachel Ball, one of yours.
Rachel Ball, lover. Yeah.
Did you know that? Because I never knew that, and I know.
Well, I do my research before an interview, obviously. You know.
Yeah. We got Rachel Ball, like
I mean, Rachel's incredible, incredible for her. I mean, very much like yourself, Paul, because you've got that martial arts background. Obviously, Rachel's come from a martial arts background, hasn't she? And obviously moved across now to the traditional boxing world. And she seems to be really flying at the minute. I mean,
yeah. When I say I come from the martial arts background, boxing's always been my thing, though. I've always been in the boxing gym, always with Tony Wilson and all them. So I was always in the. Boxing was my main is my
sport.
main, no matter what. That's the main thing. I just love it's just the discipline of it and the chess. Like it's like a chess game, and it's just phenomenal. It's very good for your discipline as well. Because I'm a really avid of training. I'm a big trainer, like into exercises, do your core circuits and always exercising and. I'm quite brutal with that. That's one of the things.
I think, but like you say, I mean, boxing is like a game. Lennox Lewis, Vladimir Klitschko, they're all big chess players, and they said that was part of their whole, in regards to the boxing, for their mindset. Like you've just hit the nail on the head with the chess, because boxing is that, isn't it? When the two fighters are in the ring, I mean, it is about outsmarting one another, so the best person,
100%.
So I mean, you can see how the two kind of tie in together. I mean, in regards to, like we were just saying, you guys, you're working in a gym that's flourishing at the moment. You're training boxers from the gym at Flourishing. I mean, Arv and I were saying earlier, your big success is a local boy to Arv. I mean, I know you've got a lot of successful fighters in there, but obviously I'm sure you didn't find it a shock, but Lennox Clark, when he won the British, obviously the British super middle title recently, I mean, he came from his background. Was he more, he sort of was flying under the radar, wasn't he? Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Well, where that all comes from, with Lennox doing what he should. And I've always said he's got to believe he's been with us 8 years as a pro. And where Lennox has flourished in his career now and got this win and that, we've got like super talent in the gym as well. So when talent brings on talent, and you've got like Tyler Denny, who's fighting for the European on a Dennis Hobson show soon as well, and he's in there. You got Ricky Summers, big light heavy, and he lost on a split decision recently. And then we've got the number one in the world. Don't forget the WBO number one super middleweight in the world. That's Zach Parker.
Zach Parker, yeah.
He's in line to fight the winner of, well, that's if they take it, he's a winner out of Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo. And then this all started with Liam Davis winning that English and Ijaz winning the European, because there was both like underdogs, but Ijaz was a massive underdog. And then as soon as he won that, and then obviously then we had the double win with Lennox winning the British and the Commonwealth, and Zach knocking out Alexander Vaughan, who's Devin Alexander's brother, who's never ever been stopped, and who is like, he was going to meet Vaughan was saying to me that he's going to knock Zach out and do all this, that, and the other, and I was just like, yeah, okay, no problem, because I know I believe that Zach's going to be one of the best this country's ever had. I do strongly believe that. I don't know do you remember his brothers Lee and Dwayne? They used to box professional as well. They boxed for us for a few years. Lee didn't fight professional because he had a problem with his brain scan. But Dwayne did. Dwayne boxed us for quite a bit. You was definitely on the shows where they.
I remember him, Dwayne. I remember him.
Yeah, Dwayne Parker. That was his brother. So he used to come when he was like 13. But his dad, Zach's father, fought Eubank in the pros in his second fight. He got stopped because he was at work and everything as well. Like, well, that was the thing. Like, and
I mean, I was going to say to you, Paul. I mean, what's his name? Lennox Clark. I have to say, Lennox Clark, what he's achieved is fantastic. One time, you couldn't even fight professional if you had no amateur fights. He had no amateur fights. I think he had about 4 unlicensed fights.
Yes.
And I have been there and I've watched him, you know.
Yeah.
You don't know me, but I'm only live around the corner from him.
Exactly.
He's up the road from me. But what he's achieved is phenomenal, because he's never had any.
Do you know what because in the pros they have all this. There's a certain way you learn. They always say you learn through the amateurs, but in the pros, you come in there, and it's like the phrase that we used to use in the old days. It's just hard, like it's manly. You have to be really, really war torn. You got to be hard. Not only do you have to punch, but you have to be tough as well. What Lennox brings, what nobody realizes about Lennox Clark, he is a demon trainer. I'm telling you now, this kid trains like, honestly, you won't believe it. I know they think that he's a bit of a road kid, and no. When it comes to exercise, and do you know what the biggest thing is? You got to be fit. Super. He's unreal. He's traits, and when we took him over there to spar Billy Joe Saunders, to spar Paul Brooks, but they ain't won it.
But Paul, I know he comes from a tough. His family, his old man's a hard man. Come on, brother, Dad and his uncles, they're hard, they're tough people. I know he always believes in himself anyway. And that in good stead, then he believes in himself 100%. And that's what, he's a good fighter. I think
now the gym's just, the energy within the gym is fantastic. And like Zach doing that the day before that he fought, didn't put so much, put a bit of pressure on, but he thought, the kid that I train with day in, day out, he's doing this, knocking man's out like that, and he's the number one in the thing. It just goes to show. And he took him out with it was like nothing. And I know this because, see, I've took him sparring places and people they don't want to know, honestly. Yeah.
Paul, nobody gave him a chance today. They thought that.
No.
Hutchinson. What was his name?
Willie
Hutchinson. Yeah. They all thought he was going to beat the head out of him. No one gave him a chance. And he knocked him out.
Yeah, of course he did. Yeah.
Because I think Hutchinson was like 13-0, wasn't he, or something?
Yeah. But you do know that, you do know that wasn't a good performance from Lenz. Can do a lot better than that. If he's thinking, I promise you. I know. I even said I'll give myself 5 out of 10 for my performance, because he can do better. I promise.
And Paul, what did you think about the loss he had? I thought that he should have gone his way, and it didn't go his way.
Well, the loss. Look, when you're in that corner of, and you know this when I've took like in the journey when you've gone out in that as well, and we've gone freaking out, we've been all done by now. We can be biased towards our fighter, but I had other people. So the other people, and some people, because they know you, they don't want to upset you, and they say it as well. So it was a close a fight. Not taking nothing from Liam Richards, but I promise you, there's one thing I know 100%. Lennox's arm was gone. He had to have injections in the arm. Okay. It's like it's, and I'm telling you, if he had two hands, it would have been a totally different fight. Not taking nothing away from Laurent Richards, not taking nothing away from the kid, because the kid done very, very well, and he's a humble kid, man. I'll get on with him, but I promise you one thing: if Lennox had both hands, it would have been a different. He wouldn't have gone into the scorecards. That's what I personally believe, because I know what he's like. He's really, listen, that's what we go for. When he goes in there, he ain't going there for like. But he's changed. Don't forget, he's only learned on the road. That's why he's knockout right. Doesn't show it. And you know, he is a bit of a road kid, so he has to be disciplined sometimes. And when he goes off the rails, he goes. So now the best that we had is now after the long fight, he stayed in the gym. He's done his due diligence and realised that there is a potential for me here, and that's how we worked it on there. Same as when Zach Parker fought Darryl Williams, and they all went, "Oh, he lost. They won the British." He had one arm. It cost £16,000 to fix his arm. His arm went in the second round. The same thing that happened to George Groves in his last round, in his 11th round with Eubank. He had it from the second, and he still beat him with one arm. But I'm telling you, Darryl Williams is a lovely kid. Lovely kid, not taking nothing away from him. But I promise you, if Zach had two arms, he wouldn't. He knocked everyone out after that. Cost £16,000 off to fix that arm, and still plays it now. Wow. Yeah, I'm not like trying to just make up things. We've got the doctor report and everything there. The kids, these kids are good kids. It's good for the Midlands. I'm telling you, very, very good. For them.
I totally agree.
That's like I said, guys. I mean, it's a real hotbed at the minute where you lads are. It seems to be in regards to professional boxing. You've got so many talented fighters coming, and like you said, Lennox aside, Zach Parker, going to be mandatory. I mean, for the winner of, do you think that will happen, or do you, Canelo and obviously Billy Joe? I mean, if he's the number one, do you see him getting a shot at the winner of either?
What it is with the fight. So we've got Billy Joe Saunders winning that. If Billy Joe Saunders wins the fight, I think it's a tough ask, if you ask me personally, because these guys are monsters at that size. And I want Billy Joe Saunders to win, obviously being British, being good. And I can see Billy Joe Saunders maybe, hopefully, because he's an all right kid with us. And I think that might give Zach a chance. But Canelo winning, I don't think he'd give just Zach a chance, because it's a very, very dangerous fight for him, and it's the rewards that he's going to get off it isn't worth it. The risk.
It's the risk and reward for that kind of fight, isn't it?
In my opinion,
sorry, I do believe that Zach beats a ball for all day. I mean, that's my own person, And it's like now, Canelo has just beat the best diamond belt, which is Callum Smith. So Canelo, and he's been proven that. Well, I think Billy Joe Saunders is a lot stronger at middleweight. I think at middleweight he's a very, very tricky, but at super middle, it's a bit of an ask.
A bit of an ask. I mean, I know he's got Billy Joe's got all the skills.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
even if he did go the distance and he did win, I don't think they'd give him the decision anyway. So and he ain't going to knock him out. So he's in that situation where if he does go the distance and he does enough, he's not going to win.
Don't forget, Canelo, like, if you're saying, like, the weight and everything, like, and you see them sort of standing next to each other, there ain't much difference. But Canelo's knocked out Kovalev as well.
Yeah, exactly that.
But he knocked Kovalev out, and then and the Callum Smith wants to say everything to everyone, like, he's serious guy. That Canelo is a serious guy, like, and I'm not taking nothing away from Billy Joe Saunders, because how could you not take it? It's like the biggest prize out there. Like, Canelo's like the new he's like the Mayweather. He's
he's taking that from
he gets to say what goes on. Like, but it'll be interesting that fight. I'm also going to be looking and seeing what happens very closely. Like, because obviously we're in position. We'll fight anyone. I promise you. Do you know when he had his last fight and we had this Vaughan? We had 40 odd names given to us. Every single one. We said, yeah, fight anyone out there. Obviously, got to be right for us as well. Because as you know now, he's signed with Frank Warren. Like, but we'd fight absolutely anyone, and that's a fact. Yeah. But we have got. There's another dangerous fighter that I got as well regarding them, because they're the heavyweights. Is Thomas Asumba as well. He's fighting Leach next for the British Super Bantam final eliminator. Thomas Asumba's a serious guy as well. He was a captain of the Cameroon team and defected in 2012 when they came to the Olympics in London.
Oh, that guy! I remember reading it. There was a big thing in the media about that, wasn't there?
About massive. He's a proper.
Where is he, Paul? Where's he from? Where does he live in the Midlands?
From Wolverhampton. Yeah, he's from Bournemouth. He's by me in COVID, and I had him in the park training. He lost to Sonny Edwards because there were certain things that went on with that fight, which I don't want to go in, because Sonny Edwards did a massive performance recently. He won the world title. I like Sonny Edwards. Great
good performance as well, wasn't it? Like you were going.
Well. Thomas Asumba's been his main sparring partner for that. We was traveling up to London every week with Roger Cunningham. He was taking him there. But I'll tell you something now. Thomas Asumba's one to watch out for. I'm telling you now. Do you remember his fight with Thomas Patrick Ward and they gave it a draw and he battered him?
Draw. Yeah, I remember that.
He absolutely hammered him. Yeah, I mean, he was. There's no way that was a draw, but they done it because of a cut, like, and they made.
Yeah, you know the score.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not right though, is it? Don't make it right. But yeah, I mean, so. I mean, if for example, I know we're pushed for time because you've got to get on in a minute. So just a couple of another quick. I mean, say Canelo. Well, we're presuming. Let's say Canelo wins at the weekend. Obviously, with Zach being the number one WBO, I'm presuming, as he's in such a strong position with you guys now. Obviously, with Frank on his side, you're going to be pushing if he's mandatory, to get that shot. So if Canelo wasn't to face, and I'm presuming that Canelo would have to vacate, and regardless, he'd have to, your guy's going to get, Zach's going to get his shot sometime in the near future, hopefully, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for, but the thing, you know how it works. Canelo's a cash cow, and I know it's all like how politics is. He gets to choose what he wants to do, but we are the mandatory, so hopefully, yeah, we take that with both hands. We'd love that fight. I mean, he has got a fight now. He's fighting the end of June. I'm not allowed to say who's going to fight, but there'll be another probably undefeated fighter, whoever it is. But yeah, we're just staying focused, staying in the gym, and staying positive, and carrying on training. And the world's their oyster now. Honestly, that it's really, really looking good for the Midlands.
Fantastic. And for you guys, I mean, it's a credit to all of you, yourself, Errol, everyone at BCB Boxing. These guys and girls are doing so well under your, under your care and tutelage, if you like. I mean, it's a credit to all of you guys.
Yeah, with BCB, there's a massive thanks to, who's one of the partners, is Dan Moe, who does so much stuff behind the scenes with all the media coverage, because it's all in media now. I mean, this thing that we do now on the Zoom call, all these things is to help promote these fighters, because when Arv was fighting, there was nothing there. There was three.
There was nothing.
There was nothing. And now, and even the journeymen get some popularity now, which they deserve, and we're always going out there. So this has been a blessing to us. Things like the Zoom that we're doing, the Instagram, Facebook. We have to do. It's not about having an ego or having a persona that no. It's hard enough as it is, and Arv knows that. When you're traveling by coach and you're traveling, I mean, Zach travels an hour to get to the gym every day, and then he gets there and trains and goes back to Derby, and that we get people traveling from all over, and it's just hard work. It's just hard graft, which He never used to get the recognition, and now I'm just glad that everyone looks at and supporting the sport in itself. And I wish it was in every school. I mean, now BCB is also doing amateurs as well. And we're not just doing amateurs for kids to fight. I just want them to just exercise, because this has been this COVID and that, you just see more and more kids always on their tablets, not doing no exercise. So I want to promote more exercise. Everyone get out there and just work and just train and just, create more discipline in them.
I just want to say, Paul, the amateur gym what Errol had, which I knew them all very well back in the day.
Yeah.
he gave that up now. We have nothing to do with
that.
No,
we've got another one now. This year, since COVID and that, like there was one that was Wednesday was doing, but now we've started a BC. Now we've started a BCB one, and I'm telling you, there's some fighters coming through there.
Oh, Paul, the old gym where Mutley and everybody were from, which he had before. Is that gone?
Yeah, no, that used to be at Walden's, but then he went to which was there was at our gym, the BCB gym, and they've been there for years since 2000 and after Errol changed in 1999, then we 2001, and they've been there since then. But they've moved and got their own place now. So BCB's started its own amateurs, so we can get some more kids through. But we work with everyone. I wish there was a boxing gym on every corner, and on the pro side, there's no one as there's no one better than Errol. I'm just.
Oh, there's not. No, I know Errol from many years. You see, Paul from the amateur days when I was an amateur. He was good friends with my coach, Bob Dillon.
I know
Errol very well, but he's a lovely guy, but he likes to stay away in the background. He don't like to have any.
Yeah, that's what they always say. Why am I always in the interviews and all that? But I've been to all the gyms. I've been everywhere. I've seen everyone. But I'm telling you, Errol Johnson is one of the best trainers in the world.
And a lovely man as well. Like I say, lovely guy.
Very good friend of mine. Like a brother of mine. He's really good. Friend to take me on. That's why I'm so blessed to have that. Just staying humble, and honestly, if everyone just sticks to it, the world, and always say you can achieve anything. You can achieve anything, and we're just here to help each and every one here. And by the grace of God, everyone just stick together. There's an abundance out there, like I say. That's what I want. I just want to help as many kids as possible. I can help them. We're always here, open for anyone, even if they just want to just train, just exercise, just advice, anything they want. We're always open to that. Anybody.
Got an open door for everyone. That's wonderful. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, like you say, boxing. At the end of the day, it's a great. Apart from this, it's a sport that we all love dearly. Obviously, I mean, especially in these current days where street, violence and all these kind of things, there has been a bit of a rise. Or not a bit. There has been a rise in it, and just by having those kids walking into your gym, if you can change the direction, the path they're on, if it's a bad path, it's a positive thing. It's wonderful and just from what you've been saying there, Paul, I mean, it's heartwarming to hear the statements you're coming out with there. I mean, it's just a wonderful thing you guys are doing. So I tip my hat to you, sir.
Well, I tip my hat to you as well, and thank you so much for doing these kind of podcasts and just getting out there. If we touch even one person, we hit even one person out there, just get out there. Do your exercise, stay positive. Don't let this what's going on now, don't let it affect you in any shape or form. There's always a way. Be a walking gym. Just go out there, get in the sunshine, get in the fresh air, just train and exercise. And if anybody wants any extra help, you're always welcome down ours, or you can get us on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter and get in touch with yourselves as well. Always open here for anybody, and I'm big on mental health and awareness. And if you ever see my Instagrams or anything like that, I'm very big on that, because I do think a lot of people are suffering with that, especially what's gone on.
The COVID.
Yeah,
it's affected a lot of people, unfortunately. But hopefully, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Fingers crossed.
100%. 100%, not 99%, 100%.
100%.
There's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. I promise you that.
Fantastic. Well, Paul, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, and we know you've got to get out and you've got some more exercise to do. So we'll let you get on. But thank you very much, Paul Mann from the BCB Boxing Club, head trainer there with Errol, and trainer of champions, I think is probably the way to put this. To end this.
It's not just myself. There's a number of others calling Matt Sturgis, Ben Wilkes, Gavin, but I'm going to miss loads of names out now, so I better not start going to. But it's everyone. It's the we. It's a collective. There's no individual. There's no me. Honest to God, like I just I'm just here humble, just trying to help as many people as possible.
And you're very humble. You are very humble.
Very humble. Very humble.
And I've known you a very, very long time, and I can say that from myself that yes, you are a very humble man. I've known you for years. And you're a good guy.
Well, God bless you. God bless your family, and God bless everyone that's tuned in. And thank you very much for the opportunity to.
Thank you for coming on, and we look forward to seeing what happens in the future, Paul. Good luck with it all, mate. Good luck.
Take care, guys.
Take care.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye, Paul.
Bye.